There's trouble up in turn 4. Dale Earnhardt trying to come up through the field has spun around and several cars taken up in the melee.
Oh, they just restarted the race, and all of a sudden Ricky Rudd and Dale Earnhardt got together.
Well, we might said what happened exactly. Earnhardt and Labonte came in and pitted and took on 4 fresh tires. Among the cars that didn't, well, none of the other leaders came in. Now, Rusty Wallace had actually beat Jeff Bodine back to the start-finish line when the Dale Jarrett car spun. So when we came back to green flag just a minute ago, Rusty Wallace was the leader and remains the leader. There's Wallace as the leader, Jeff Bodine in second spot. Now, Earnhardt comes bulleting up through the field with those fresh tires, and as he went on the outside in turn 3 and 4, Earnhardt and Ricky Rudd came together. Earnhardt's car spun around, tapped the outside retaining wall, and we are again, for the 9th time of the day, under the yellow flag.
And here's Michael Waltrip. He really got the worst end of that whole thing, I think, Jerry. The tires are just headed out. Apparently he has a steering arm broke or bent very badly. Let's see if we can see what did happen as they went into turn 3.
Earnhardt trying to move on the outside just to the right of your screen, and he gets together. There's Rudd and Labonte trying to miss Earnhardt up high. He is already spinning. Here comes Rick Wilson in the car number 4 by. Everybody trying to get on the binders. There's Lake Speed, Mark Martin, and Mark Martin just gets by. And of course, Martin's car is the one that nudges the side of the Mike Waltrip car. So Waltrip's car got some of that damage on the left front or the right front of his car from the toe in. But we're ready for green once again. Laps are winding down.
Just had a wreck on a backstretch. Bobby Hill and ran into the back of Lake Speed, who ran into the back of Dale Earnhardt.
We're showing 4 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on to your seats. It's winding down here.
It's far from over yet. These guys are anxious.
4 laps. They got to come by us 4 times. Can they do it? Green flag, and Rusty Wallace trying to pick up his 2nd win in a row after winning at Charlotte Motor Speedway a week ago. Wallace leads the charge in turn 1. Wallace, the leader, by 2 car lengths over Jeff Bodine. Bodine is 2nd. 3rd place, a strong effort by Phil Parsons. And here comes Bill Elliott in 4th. Elliott, the right of your screen, in the car number 9.
And Terry Labonte with fresh tires on right behind Bill Elliott. He's just looking for a place to go because those fresher tires is better for him, but he didn't have any running room.
Jeff Bodine right on the bumper of Rusty Wallace. You know, Jeff's got to be upset with himself for not racing Rusty to the line, because Jeff really was the leader when the caution came out. White
flag this time by. Final lap. Can Jeff Bodine catch Rusty Wallace? And he nudges him in turns 1 and 2. Wallace a little bit out of shape. Bodine back on the inside. They are door to door. Down for the white flag. Final time. Here's Wallace back on the inside. And he nudges Jeff Bodine in turns 3 and 4. The crowd on their feet. It will be sideways. Rusty Wallace will win it here at Wilkesboro Speedway. I mean, they are on their feet, ladies and gentlemen, for an outstanding finish.
What a finish.
Rusty Wallace and Jeff Bodine.
Oh, Jeff Bodine passes Rusty Wallace, and Rusty passes it back using the same tactics.
Now the drivers pull up door to door and talk a little bit back and forth and about what a nice day each of them had.
Sign language.
Yeah,
it almost looked like Phil Parsons beat Jeff for 2nd.
Yeah, I'm sure they told each other they were number 1 there. And now Rusty Wallace will make that left-hand turn as they try to find victory lane here. It's a new victory lane, as we mentioned, and Rusty will be headed up to the ramp to victory lane. Rusty Wallace takes the win here at the Wilkesboro Speedway in the Holly Farms 400. A final few laps here. Unbelievable finish as Wallace wins it, and Jeff Bodine is 2nd. Wallace, 2nd win in a row. Stay tuned. Victory lane coming back. Well, the Holly Farms 400 is history, and I think they have made history here today at Wilkesboro Speedway at Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Let's take a look at this last lap and a half. A lot of folks can't believe what they saw. Here's Rusty Wallace leading the race, coming by for the white flag. Going into turn 1, looks like Jeff Bodine trying to pull up on the inside of him, Ned. And Bodine just moving to the inside as they head down the back straightaway. They're going to take the white flag here in turn 3. The turn 4 as they come out of turn 4, Ned.
They are coming off of turn 4 now for the white flag. Bodine right on the back bumper of Rusty. It looked like Rusty got a little loose there as they go into turn 1. Bodine drives a little bit deeper into the turn. He hits Wallace, gets him crossways, drives it on to the inside, and takes the lead as they go up the back stretch here at North Wilkesboro. Wallace backs off, lets him go, and then comes back in and reciprocates. Gets Bodine sideways. Wallace gets down on the inside, takes the lead. Here comes Phil Parsons down on the inside, and he will beat Jeff Bodine back to the start-finish line for second place.
So we amend that finish, and it will be Rusty Wallace as the winner. Phil Parsons will take second spot. And, of course, in victory lane, this Winner's Circle interview is being brought to you by Goodyear Eagle Tires. Goodyear, because there really is a difference. And there was a difference those past few laps. There is Rusty Wallace getting ready to climb out. Let's go down there with Dick Berggren. Dick?
Well, Rusty, you had quite a last lap in there.
It was a tight last lap, there's no doubt about that. You know, Jeff ran a super race, and so did Darrell Walsh and Jeff Bodine, and I tell you, Ricky Rudd really had a good car, but we brought the Kodiak Pontiac home #1. You know, that's what it's all about in this Winston Cup chase, and that's a close race and a little closer than I like, but you know, you got to get the job done.
You had a damaged front end in the car, Rusty. How bad was that?
Well, Jimmy Means and I got together down there. I tried to go underneath him, and he didn't see me down there, and we just got together, and that was it. And I thought that was it because the toe end was knocked out real bad, and we got it fixed. But it was an exciting race. I'm really proud to win at North Wilkesboro because this is such a beautiful racetrack. Enoch Stale and NASCAR done a super job up here.
Tell us about the race back to the line where you beat Bodine.
Well, it was a real race. You know, in the last caution flag, Barry says keep a race, and we haven't took the caution let, and I beat him back there, and that's what won me the race.
Rusty Wallace here in victory lane, high atop the main stand in the infield area. They've raised this car up on a platform. Rusty being congratulated by his crew and everybody else here.
Rusty Wallace picks up his 4th win of the year, his 8th career win, and of course he moves even closer to Bill Elliott in that coveted Winston Cup point title. We'll tell you how close it is when we come back. Anyway, people are still standing in the stands, shaking their head. They're sort of numb after those last couple laps. I think it's worth one more look to see exactly what happened. Let's take a look. Going into turn 1 here, Jeff Bodine, the car number 5, currently running in second spot behind Rusty Wallace. Now, Wallace has a half a car length going into 1. Short track racing at its finest. These cars will run again, probably no more. And a Bodine, the rear bumper shoving a little bit for Rusty Wallace. Now, Wallace a little bit out of shape, gets the car. He's trying to gather the car back in, but there's the open door for Bodine. Bodine slides by on the inside of the racetrack. Heads down the backstretch. Now Wallace is back in the full throttle. He has gotten the car straightened out, but Bodine has already made his move by. But Wallace is not through. It's his turn. In turn 3, front bumper, Pontiac to Chevrolet, Kodiak to Levi Garrett, and Bodine trying to hang on. All that tire smoke as he drifts up high. Rusty Wallace will make the move inside of turn 4, and here comes Phil Parsons. He will sneak by about 3 feet and finish second. What a finish here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Our Goodyear driver of the race, well, there he is in victory lane, Rusty Wallace, for his efforts from coming back from adversity so many times today. And a tough day for Rusty Wallace. And a driver who's had even a tougher day, standing by with our Benny Parsons, is Jeff Bodine.
Jeff, it was a long day, but looked like it was going to be a good day there for a moment. You tell us what happened that last lap and a half.
Well, the last lap and a half, I guess that is really what the race boiled down to. It's amazing to me how these 400-lap or 500-mile races can come down to those last few laps to decide the whole race. It doesn't matter what you did in the beginning of the race. It was just at the end. And we got blocked when a car spun out coming off turn 4, and I was leading a race, and I went to go around Ernie Irvin, and he didn't do it on purpose, but he got my way, and I couldn't get to the finish line. And Rusty and I both went to the inside, and Rusty beat me by, what, an inch or so. That put him ahead on that restart, and that's a good place to be here at Wilkesboro on a restart with, what, 5 or 6, 7 laps to go. And we took off, and it looked like Rusty slowed his pace down to try to protect that inside. He knew we were there, and we could get up underneath him. It'd be all over. He slowed down so much it let me catch up, let me run better. Coming into the first corner on the last lap, he got a little wiggly, tried to really hold it down tight, wiggled a little bit, and I bumped him. Of course, that made him wiggle a little bit more, and I slid underneath him. Going in the third corner, I thought I had it made. Just one corner to go. Just get through 3 and 4 and get to the finish line, and you got it. And next thing I knew, I was sideways. And I was low on the racetrack. I don't believe he got underneath me, but I just ended up sideways and broad slid through the whole corner. I guess I'm lucky I didn't spin out and cause a wreck. Your brother, Phil Parsons, beat me to the line. He ended up second. I ended up third, so we lost a couple spots there in just one corner. But it was a great race. The Levi Garrett car run good, and you know, we're proud that both Conwood cars are up front. Rusty Kodiak cars in victory lane, we're third. It was a good day for Conwood.
And there's another car, tobacco car, finished second, and Dick Berggren was him right now, Phil Parsons.
Yeah, and Phil's with his wife, Marcia. Phil, what a good run today. You really ran strong.
Well, thank you. We really ran pretty well all day, but we made a tire change early in the race and got really back behind the leader, so we never were up front to show it. But Richard and all the guys kept plugging. We changed tire brands 4 times during the race, and I told Richard about a month ago, I said, Richard, you know, hang in there, we'll have a good run, because we've had some incredible bad luck, especially here lately, but with Richard just about all year. And I told him, we said, we'll get us a good run one of these days, and we got it for him today.
You thought you had a shot to win this thing toward the end.
Well, I really did. I knew, you know, Bodine got in a rush. It looked to me like going in one, nudged him a little bit to get him out of shape and got around him. So I said, well, Rusty's going to return the favor going in 3 here. And I said, if I can get close enough, if they can get enough out of shape, we're going to win this thing. But Bodine got enough out of shape that we beat him, but Rusty didn't get enough out of shape.
And that's what being a smart race driver is all about, playing the odds and watching your competition.
An impressive performance by Phil Parsons indeed, changing tires and holding on all afternoon. An impressive afternoon, Ned. A tremendous effort by a lot of people.
Boy, it really was, Jerry. I can't wait till we get to the North Carolina Motor Speedway at Rockingham next Sunday.
They got to be selling tickets right now. We'll be there to carry it on ESPN. Rusty Wallace takes the Holly Farm 400. Phil Parsons is second. Jeffrey Bodine will finish third. Bill Elliott is fourth. And Terry Labonte is fifth. The results and the point standings when we come back. Holly Farms 400 is history, and Rusty Wallace has won it. And we were watching that last lap battle between, of course, Jeff Bodine and Rusty Wallace. There was another battle going on back for 4th spot. Let's take a look. Here is the 4th place car, Terry Labonte. Elliott trying to get by him. Elliott currently in 5th. And Kenny Schrader in front of Labonte. He can't get by him. Elliott dirt tracking out of turn 4. All that smoke. And Elliott still will finish in 5th spot. A good effort by Bill Elliott, and he's standing by in the garage area.
Bill, I didn't know you were a dirt track racer.
Well, I try not to be. You know, there at the end, we didn't change tires, decided to stay out. And I was just trying to beat Labonte back to the line. But, you know, still we had a great day. You know, the Coors Motorcraft Thunderbird did a good job all day long. You know, we went out and we did what we needed to do. We led some. We run good most of the day. I kept having troubles. Either the car would be tight or it'd be loose. I never could get what I needed in the middle. And, you know, we worked hard on it all day. But, you know, still, Rusty ran a great race, come up winning the race. And, you know, as many cars as still left running there in the lead lap, I didn't feel too bad about today.
You came out of the race with an 89-point lead. You're going to 3 racetracks that basically you've always done very well at. How do you think? Is that enough?
Well, you know, what is enough? We won't know till the end of the year. And the thing of it is, Rusty's running good right now, but I feel like we're strong at those places too. And the main thing we got to do is go out and run hard. And if we fall out, you know, no matter what, if it's 100 points or whatever, you know, he'll win a championship. If not, we'll win it.
Bill, good luck. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Outstanding effort by Bill Elliott. He will finish in 5th, as we said. And the point championship, let's take a look and see how the points break down now. 4,028 points for Bill Elliott, 3,939, a difference of only 89 points now. So Rusty Wallace has gained an additional 20 points today. He gained 15 last week. That's 35 points he's gained on Bill Elliott in 2 races. And Dale Earnhardt, of course, he will drop back some, finishing in 6th, 3,840 points. He is now 99 points behind 2nd place Rusty Wallace. So with the Holly Farms 400 history now and Rusty Wallace closing in on Bill Elliott, we will have the road to the Winston Cup. What's coming up next? Next Sunday on ESPN. We'll tell you about it when we come back. ESPN's Speed World presentation of the NASCAR Winston Cup Holly Farms 400 has been brought to you by Pontiac. We build excitement. By Quaker State Motor Oil. The big Q stands for quality. Always has, always will. By Champion Spark Plug Company. And by Zerex, the antifreeze coolant for extreme conditions. Coming up at 4:30 today, of course, the next to the final kart event. Danny Sullivan on the front row out there, along with Mario Andretti. Al Unser Jr. starting 3rd, Bobby Rahal 4th. And Danny Sullivan can clinch his first kart IndyCar Series World Championship by winning that event today. Of course, next week here on ESPN at the North Carolina Motor Speedway, the road to the Winston Cup continues from Rockingham, North Carolina. 12:30 p.m. start. Eastern Time, 9:30 Pacific Time. The NASCAR Winston Cup AC Delco 500. And the battle will continue. These 2 guys will be there, Jeff Bodine and Rusty Wallace, to go at it again. 3 rounds remain in the $18 million road to the Winston Cup. And only 80 points separate Bill Elliott from Rusty Wallace. For Ned Jarrett and Gary Nelson, Benny Parsons, and Dick Berggren, I'm Jerry Punch saying thanks for joining us. So long, everybody, from North Wilkesboro Speedway.